y'all. Following up after Game 3 of the NBA Finals. First off, I just want to say, if you ask me, could I score on an NBA player? Luka Doncic gives me hope. It's only two people that should get the blame for the Dallas Mavericks fiasco of whatever they're doing. Jason Kidd gets 50%, and Luka Doncic gets the other 50%. Because what the hell are we doing? I mean, Boston just... First of all, I don't even know how many plays they've literally ran. Because it probably hasn't been a lot. I mean, it's just easily just walk the ball down, sit there, ISO, then drive by, kick to the corner, layup. I mean, that's pretty much everywhere. Luka Doncic, I mean, he left Kyrie and the team. He just left them, fouled out, first time in the playoffs. I mean, like Luka, bro, son, what are you doing?
I think that I'm gonna say this over the course of this video. Mistakes were made. I think that a big thing about this series is Boston Celtics are a better team. Not only are they the better team because of the depth on the team, meaning how many players are good to great, but their style of play, along with their experience, make them a better team. The Dallas Mavericks, their inexperience in terms of a leadership perspective really showed in this ball game. I agree with Jalen. Jason Kidd and Luka Doncic, they were terrible. Why is Tim Hardaway Jr. on the court for a majority of the game? Did he? I don't know.
He only had, bro. I think he only took 3 shots. He bricked a open 3. He took that side step deep mid range on Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right, we're gonna insert that clip, and then he had a open 3 late in the game with like 20 seconds left that actually could have affected the game. But, I mean, he just a loud brick.
But I think that, yeah, I agree with that. But I'm not going to put a lot of blame on Tim Hardaway Jr. because you're in the game. Why are you in the game?
I mean, he kind of, from after this performance, I regretted saying, I did say this before the game. I said Tim Hardaway should get some minutes. But after that, after what I just saw, I regret that. I ain't gonna
But when's the last time he's had meaningful minutes?
I don't know, regular season?
Exactly. So how do we expect for him to... He's cold. He has no rhythm. He hasn't played all playoffs, really. Why do we expect him to put any type of production on the court?
I mean, if he's getting put out there, they obviously expect him to give something.
Yeah, but as soon as he's not giving you anything, you got to get his ass up out of there.
Well, Jason Kidd, he don't know how to do that.
Another thing, Jason Kidd. Jason Tatum is regarded as the best player on the Boston Celtics. We watched the game. We watched the film. Because I really don't think a lot of people are actually watching the game. They may just be watching a few clips on Twitter. The person that was playing the best defense with Jason Tatum was P.J. Washington. I'm seeing too often Kyrie Irving being switched onto Jason Tatum. Luka Doncic being switched on to Jason Tatum. Sir, those are easy pickings. How many blow-bys? We were counting the blow-bys throughout the game. Why are we continuing to switch? It's not working, Jason Kidd. Like, I'm not even going to say do better. Let's just keep it honest. The series is over.
Yeah,
it's over. But Jason Kidd, and I said this during the game. I don't want to see my head coach with his hands in his pocket or his arms folded like this. I don't want to see it. I really don't want to see it because you have to.
Yes, sir, Kevin James.
What are we doing? And then okay, so next, Luka Doncic, sir. I'm sorry, everybody knows I love Luka Doncic, but his play today was very disturbing and disgusting. His level of selfishness continues to not give any effort defensively, but his approach to this game was very poor. A lot of bad shots, a lot of poor decision making, flailing, foul baiting. Team is getting a little bit of momentum, and he's just dribbling the air out of the ball, taking 20 seconds off the shot clock to get into the paint and throw up 10 pump fakes when you have a shorter defender on you, Peyton Pritchard.
He didn't even have to do a lot of those pump fakes. He didn't need to do, like, or or if he did, like off one pump fake, he created enough space where he could have faded away, you know, do his little signature shot or whatever. But then he was doing a lot of stepping through and then stepping back and then stepping through, and then he'd either lose the ball, shoot it short, or just, bro, turn the ball over.
I'm not somebody that's big on aggression. I like controlled aggression. Like Kyrie Irving had controlled aggression. All of his moves that he made, he had purpose to his moves. I think a problem with these ball-dominant guys that just dribble their out of the ball, that LeBron style, James Harden style, is that when you get to a 0-2 deficit, they're thinking extremely too hard. And they're trying to make the game about them when basketball is a 5v5 game, it's a team game. Have to win with what got you there. If Kyrie Irving has the hot hand, continue to feed him. I heard somebody say a little bit earlier today, role players play better at home. You have to get those guys involved. They have to come with you. Luka Doncic tried to make this a one-man show. Brother, didn't you learn from 2022 when you played against the Golden State Warriors that you can't beat a team by yourself? Like, he needs to take steps in his leadership. He needs to take steps in his attitude. He needs to take steps in his effort. He gave no effort defensively. And I also think that his defensive IQ is really bad as well.
It's piss poor.
Because his head is on his swivel. He doesn't know where the ball is. He's ball watching half the time when they're in their zone. So he needs to take accountability for this loss. And Jason Kidd needs to take accountability for his poor coaching. I don't know why P.J. Washington on offense is on the wing. Put his ass in the corner. That is his shot. Corner three. I remember the last time he's made a wing three. Put him in the corner. That's where he's most effective. That's what got you there. I feel like they just got away from their game plan on what got them to the NBA Finals, and they just started playing pretty desperate, but in a bad way. And they're going to get swept. I think the attitude has to change. And when you're asking questions like that, you don't have the right mentality. Luka Doncic, you're down by 20 points and you're smiling. I don't want to see that. Half of his fouls are frustration fouls. You miss a shot and then you're reaching in fouling when you need to get back on defense. Sir, he let his team down. He lost his game. And I haven't seen his post-game press conference, but he needs to take accountability for that loss because it was very alarming to see that. I saw a lot of LeBron James qualities in Luka Doncic, and that's been the comp. That's been the comparison. It's funny how guys in this ball-dominant style, they tend to have this type of attitude, but it's more so about me, and not the team. And you're not going to win a championship with that style of play. So he needs to do better.
So, okay, my question: I know what my answer is, but do we give P.J. Washington some of that blame for constantly switching off of Jason Tatum?
No, that's coaching.
That's on scheme.
That's coaching.
Because they switching everything.
Yeah.
If
it's a drag screen and Tatum's coming over to Drew Holiday and he's screening, it doesn't matter if that was like Peyton Pritchard or somebody. They're switching all actions.
Yes.
So that's on the scheming. So that's really on J. Kidd, honestly.
Especially when you're at the top of the key. Like if Tatum has the ball, P.J. Washington is the assigned defender. Whoever's coming to set that screen, P.J. Washington is not looking to see, it's a small that's setting the screen, so I don't need to switch. They're not paying attention to that because that's not the schematics of what they're playing. Jason Kidd, as a coach and a quote-unquote brilliant offensive mind and defensive mind, has to tell P.J. Washington, look, we're not switching this matchup right here. We're only going to switch in this instance right here. He has to be able to tell him that. I can't put that on P.J. Washington.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that on him personally.
All right. So, Finals MVP. Is it clear-cut Jaylen Brown now after Game 3?
Oh, absolutely. I don't really have a lot of bad things to say about Jason Tatum's performance. I do think that, and this is coaching as well, he'll probably get a little bit of blame for losing that lead. I don't really put a lot of that on him. They weren't going to Jason Tatum for whatever reason in that lead. I think they got very, very comfortable and felt that they could not lose the lead. They got away from what got them there as well. But, they needed to regroup. So I kind of put that on Missoula for not running action for Jason Tatum. I do think that Jason Tatum, once again, another inefficient night, shooting too many contested threes. He likes contested jump shots for whatever reason. And his shot selection was very, very poor. It wasn't really finishing strong at the basket, even though he could get to the rim at will. But one thing he said that really alarmed me was when they were on the sidelines, on the bench, and during a timeout, and he said, we got to stop taking step-back threes. Jason Tatum, sir, respectfully, are you delusional? You're the only one on the team that takes step-back threes. Like I said, maybe he was talking to himself, because when he was talking, nobody was giving any feedback.
I hope he was talking to himself, because there's no way he's talking to everybody else. All right, so read off these stats. So for the Boston Celtics, we got
CJ, you got any key takeaways for the game?
I'll let him read the stats off.
Okay.
All right, so Jason Tatum, 31 points, 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 of 13 from 3, 11 of 26 from the field. He had a -4 player performance. Plus minus. Al Horford, 8 points, 5 rebounds. Drew Holiday, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Derek White, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 9 from 3. And then Jaylen Brown, 30 points. He had a +13, plus minus, with 1 block, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. He was 2 of 9 from 3, 12 of 22 from the field. And then off the bench, we have Sam Hauser with 9 points, 3 of 4 from 3. And then big Xavier Tillman, that 1 3-pointer.
He played some great defense this game.
And then next, we have Dallas Mavericks stats. P.J. Washington, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3. Derrick Jones Jr., 2 points, 2 field goals. Daniel Gafford, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block. Kyrie Irving, 35 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 4 of 6 from 3, 13 of 28 from the field. Luka Doncic, 27 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 personal fouls, 1 of 7 from 3, 11 of 27 from the field. Off the bench, Derek Lively, 11 points, 13 rebounds.
He played good.
Josh Green, he had 3 points. Dante Exum, he had that dunk on Jason Tatum.
You can stop.
Yeah, that was it.
I think that, I want Caleb to talk, but before I get to that, my starting center cannot have 3 rebounds.
Because, he played 22 minutes. And then Tim Hardaway, I didn't even know he was out there for 19 minutes.
EP played too long, sir.
He definitely played too long.
Minutes. You know that?
I really didn't know that. You couldn't have told me that. I thought he was in there for like a good 5 minutes.
Nah, it was I thought it was about like 12.
Tim Hardaway, the way he played, bro, the way he was out there, he was like just one of them random niggas that you just pick up at the wire or something like that. Just on your team, old head. He just throw up a couple of jumpers, hoping that something goes in.
You can't guard me. Boy, you must be great.
Breaking bad. Caleb, what you gotta say, man?
I really don't have much to say. This kind of been an amalgamation of the series so far. It reminds me of Game 2, honestly. The only difference is the Mavs came out strong. So, like, the first 3 minutes, Mavs had us fooled. Like, they jumped out to a 7-2 lead. You can tell the home court difference was definitely there. Like, the role players were playing better. Luka Doncic got off to a really good start in the beginning, and he kind of fell off after that. Yeah. But Kyrie had it going. P.J. Washington was open a couple times. He knocked down like 2. He knocked down like a 3. So they really came out to a good start. But ultimately, the better team won this game, and I think the better team's going to win this series. I've been saying that. I'll start with the players on the Celtics, because I don't think I should talk about sides of the ball, because we kind of know like what's going on in this series. Start with the coaching of the Celtics. I think Mazzulla coached a pretty mid-game. I think he did a lot of things that pissed me off during this game. Like that, there was definitely that segment when the Celtics started losing the lead, and the action they were running, they were running action for Tatum, but Tatum wasn't getting the ball. So we were settling for Peyton Pritchard step back and testing mid-range shots, and I don't think that's a source it's definitely a source that got you up to the NBA Finals. So I don't think we should be running that action in the NBA Finals, me personally. But other than that, he basically repeated some of the plays. Like he had Tatum set like a drag screen on the baseline with Drew Holiday, and Tatum would post up like Kyrie or Luka. He'll be posting them up right there, and basically the Celtics, they'll kick the ball, they'll swing the ball out, and then they'll have JB in the corner in that right baseline. So JB will be open for three whenever they gave Tatum the ball sometimes. So I like that action. They ran the action a couple of times this game. So, but other than that, Mazzulla, he kind of coached the mid-game.
He hasn't really had to do much.
Yeah, he really doesn't. Like, there's a big talent disparity between both of the teams. Like, you can tell. J. Kidd, I have a lot to say about J. Kidd. He hasn't made any adjustments from Game 2.
None.
Make sure y'all check out that video. Link in bio. Does Jason Kidd have CTE? He might have it. But we're not doing brain analysis. Yeah, brain analysis once he's through. But he didn't make any adjustments. I really wasn't surprised at all.
Seems like the only adjustment he made was just to open up the depth of the bench and play more guys. He played 11 guys.
Yeah, he just played more dudes. So.
That was it.
Yeah, because I didn't see any adjustments. I felt like the Mavericks have been playing the same style of defense that got them there. So they're going to be playing this overly help defense once a man gets blown by. Because if you watch Celtics play, Celtics, they have so much confidence in their defenders that literally in the first quarter or first half or something like that. No, it may have been the third quarter. Peyton Pritchard was literally on Luka, and they just let Peyton Pritchard guard Luka one-on-one, no help side. Peyton Pritchard's been playing pretty good defense on Kyrie, on Luka. Sam Hauser, give him some respect. He's been playing really good defense. He hasn't been getting blown on any switches or anything. Really, honestly, if I can think of one. And he knocked down 3 big threes in the first half, so I don't want that going unnoticed. Sam Hauser has had a great finals. He's definitely improved his defense in the latter half of these playoffs. So, but Jason Kidd, he really didn't give us a different look at all at this game, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about that. I never thought he was a good coach to begin with, but it's just a samey action, and the Celtics had counters for that. Like, in the first 2 games, they had Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday spent a majority of this game, like, on the wing. But in the first 2 games, Drew Holiday was really in the dunker spot. And I think Kyrie was guarding him for, like, a major percentage of those plays. So whenever JT or JB would break down their man, they could just dump it off to Drew Holiday. He had open layup because Kyrie's not going to guard the paint. So I feel like that was some good action that the Celtics were running that they didn't really run this game. So besides the coaching difference, because nobody really cares about the coaches, we'll get to the players. I'll start with the Celtics. I felt like Jaylen Brown had a slow start. He really disappeared in the first half. I didn't see him at all. Like I think he was like 1 of 3 or something like that.
Yeah, 1 of 3. He had 6 points.
Yeah, he had 6 points. See, he kind of went ghost. The threes he was taking in the first half was all short. I was like, why? Jaylen Brown, you getting the ball swung out to you, and you're settling for contested 3-point shots over Luka Doncic. Like, you can take him off the dribble, man. So I was a bit disappointed by that, but he definitely picked up in the second half. And it kind of reminded me of the Mavericks. The Mavericks, Luka will, be the guy that started off in the first half, and then Kyrie would get them in the second half. So that's kind of what reminded me of this game, honestly. Because Tatum had it in the first half, and then the second half,
he had 20.
He had 20, and it was only a 1-point game, which is crazy. I was like, the Mavs should be up by more than this, man. The Mavs should have brought that out to about an 8 to 15-point lead, the way they was playing and the way they started that game out. But they just got lackadaisical, and I can blame that on Luka Doncic because in the second quarter, when he lost a stroke, he just kept jacking shots up, and it's like, bro, like your shot's not going. And he was getting switches. Mismatch hunting, wasn't making much of the switches at all. Sam Hauser was playing really good defense on him. Xavier Tillman was playing great defense on him. Brother, Luka Doncic was just throwing a pump fakes.
What's that?
Pump fakes, nobody jumping. So
when Luka Doncic has
what's
the ball,
that, brother?
You can almost turn on elevator music because you're gonna hold that hoe until the shot clock.
He slows down the pace and the tempo of the Mavericks severely because even when they got to that run in the fourth quarter, when they went on like a 20-2 run, Boston scores 2 points in 8 minutes. Luka Doncic just slowed down the entire tempo of the offense, and after that or whatever, I think it was like 93-90. J Kidd called a timeout. Luka got mad, which I can understand because it's like you're making a run. Like Jason Kidd, why the hell would you call a timeout during like a 20-point run?
Make them call
I thought
it
it was Boston that called the timeout at first.
No, yeah, J Kidd, like and
That's
then like
when
Luka
Luka
threw the ball up in the air, we can insert a clip. Luka threw the ball up in the air.
With no disrespect, Luka Doncic, you weren't really contributing to that.
Yeah,
run,
I mean,
so.
you were just kind of out there.
Nah,
so.
I don't even think. Well, he wasn't even in there for most of the run. Most of the run was just Kyrie.
It was just Kyrie.
He
just like.
And speaking of Kyrie, he had a bounce back game. Kyrie, we're gonna give you your flowers tonight, man. I get some.
Hey,
flowers
I believe. Hey, a lot of them didn't believe in you. Hey, I did, man.
Yeah, man. You played a really good game. I don't care about haters gonna be like he didn't shoot 50%. Kyrie played a good game. If you saw the game.
Well, also, like I said, haters are not actually watching the film, so. Can't really evaluate what haters
like
say.
your number one guy let you down, man.
They just look at the box score.
Let you down. Like Kyrie making big shots after big shots, and you didn't go out like no hoe. So, respectfully, Kyrie, you get your flowers.
I think Luka Doncic, unfortunately, this is not a pass at all. This is a demerit on him. He played this game like he thought he was going to be alone during this game. Like he felt like, oh, I'm going to be the only guy that's going to contribute like the previous 2 games. I think that's a poor way. That's not how.
That's poor leadership.
That's poor leadership, and I think that's something that he's gonna have to learn. A part of leadership is how you conduct yourself. So your body language. He has terrible body language. Like
Yeah, he shows his emotions way too much.
Way too much, and then the smiling stuff. Like that stuff is cute in the regular season. Sir, this is the NBA Finals. Like we don't need to see all of that.
Well, that's just who he is. Like he's been doing it. Like
well,
he's been doing it all postseason. Like
needs to stop being who
he's been doing that since he played the Suns in 2 years.
When
like,
you're down,
like every time he makes a shot, he's looking to the crowd. So
it's cool. But when you're down 0-3, sir, respect, and you're making mistakes, sir, respectfully. This is a growth opportunity in my opinion. That's why I think I was starting to say. That his career arc is taking a LeBron career arc. You know, fast start, rookie of the year, you know, all the accolades, all the first team NBA, make it to the finals early, playoff success. But they're probably going to get swept. Like LeBron and them got swept in the Spurs series. Difference is that Luka Doncic statistically is playing pretty well. But we're going to see the evolution of Luka Doncic after this NBA Finals. It's only going to get tougher. This was a missed opportunity. I think not only they weren't the better team by far, but it could have had a better showing if his leadership was improved and if he would compromise a little bit on his style of play. If you don't have it going, it doesn't make sense to continue jacking up shots when Kyrie Irving is on fire. Like nobody could guard him today. Kyrie Irving, he played a great game. Like I said, you can't really evaluate him not shooting 50%. He played a very great game. He's very aggressive. He wasn't overthinking or overanalyzing. I think Luka Doncic was. Kyrie Irving, one move, you know, in the first quarter, he was just taking one move, he was getting to the basket. And then after that, he started getting a rhythm. Then he started to dance on guys because he was in a flow. Luka Doncic was trying to force the offense, and I don't like that. Like we were talking about ethical scores. Luka Doncic is not that. Because ethical scores, they get their buckets in the flow of a game. They are looking to score the basketball, but they're trying to operate on different levels of the court. Cross key, 3-level. They're trying to get their buckets in the flow of the offense. They're not foul baiting, driving it. Because when you're throwing up a bunch of pump fakes, throw a pump fake for 2 reasons. Trying to draw fouls, or you're so old that you can't get your release off quick enough. You know he can do the latter. He's trying to get fouls. So you don't win championships trying to get fouls, unless you're Dwayne Wade. No sense.
I want to zoom in when I say this. Luka Doncic, kid, slide your damn feet, nigga. Like, I mean, just show me something. Like your footwork, you got impeccable footwork. So really that this whole defense thing is really a mindset. Like,
cause there are glimpses there.
Cause like there are certain times where you showed. Like, you were actually sitting down, you know what I'm saying, at the perimeter, whether it was Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. But then as soon as they blow by, you just try and hack.
But you want to know, what that is? What's coming to bite him in the butt?
Oh, you can zoom back out.
His conditioning. His conditioning is horrific. He has conditioning to put up points, but he can't give max effort on the defensive end. He gives no effort on the defensive end because his conditioning is so bad. It will go down drastically because his conditioning is terrible. He's out of shape. He has a big belly.
His lack of like a defensive presence, it kind of rubs off because he really doesn't. He doesn't show no initiative to want to at least try, and it kind of rubs off on the rest of their defense.
Yeah, and that goes because they're trying to.
Thing.
They cannot hide Luka Doncic. They have a poor defender in Kyrie Irving, and they don't have versatile defenders. They're positional defenders, not versatile defenders. So they cannot hide Luka Doncic. They cannot hide Kyrie Irving.
It also goes back again to coaching. If you're Jason Kidd and you know how much of a defensive liability Luka is, why do you have him constantly on multiple times starting off guarding Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum when you know what's going to happen every time they touch the ball? I mean, a lot of times this game, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were settling and taking, step back, side step threes, or all these threes, which I really don't know why. I mean, you could have just kept on doing what you were supposed to do, but then I guess that just goes back to the settling and kind of playing laid back. But yeah, I think they missed a lot of opportunities with that. And yeah, back to Jason Tatum's shooting performance, bro. He was shooting like he was finna have 50 or something. I don't know what was going on, bro.
That's a Jason Tatum performance, sir. Half his shots are gonna be threes. They're gonna be contested.
If he would have shot mid ranges instead of all those threes, I would have been cool.
He's not a good mid range.
He's not a good mid range shooter, but I would have rather him take them
after
threes.
2022 finals, he stopped shooting mid range.
Yeah, cause I knew he's not Kobe. He's not a good mid range shooter. First of all, his shot it's not a set shot, but his shot isn't smooth enough to realistically be a mid range shooter. He has a hitch in it, so he's not. So he's never, in my opinion, he's never gonna be the ethical scorer that Jaylen Brown is, because he's just not smooth. So that's why he shoots a lot of threes and goes to the rim. But speaking of JT, because I forgot to talk about him. I think he played a good game. I think JT has played a good finals, even though his field goal percentage looks like shit. Like, he's been playing
the floor game.
Yeah, he's done everything.
Like if you watch the game, he's been playing a good game. Now this side, this game wasn't really more on the playmaking side like how the first two was, but he had stroke going, no homo, but he had stroke going tonight. So but he was taking too many threes. Like, I saw some of it. It's like the Dallas Bigs, they will play like him on his right side. So they want him to go left, and Jason Tatum having the CTE that he does sometimes, just taking contested threes. Like, dude, you can take them off the dribble, man. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Just take them off the dribble. Like, him and Jaylen Brown have a tendency to settle, and it's like, bro, just get in the paint, man, or just pound the ball, get a paint touch, because they can get paint touches all they want. We've seen this finals. Whenever they get paint touch, it leads to an open shot. Agreed. So I don't want them settling for no more threes. No more threes, really. Only shoot threes when you're open. Don't shoot no contested threes at all this series, because both of y'all can get by y'all mans. So I just think I don't think it's disrespectful. I just think it's y'all just need to lock in, man. So hopefully they get better with that, because they're most likely going to get the championship. But over the course of next year and the future, because of course the NBA is going to get tougher. But the Celtics, they still kind of run the East right now, so they should be able to get out the East. It's usually I think if Denver or Minnesota comes out of the West, those two teams give the Celtics the most issues. I think no other team else can give the Celtics issues at all. But
you don't think a healthy Knicks or 76ers?
They have to figure out some things that they're going to do with that team.
76ers, no, and
as
the
currently constructed, the Knicks, the Knicks, they're not.
Nah, I don't think so. I think the Celtics top to bottom are better than those guys.
Clearly.
And I just think they're better than those guys. The Celtics are Celtics are a tier over anybody in the Eastern Conference, and the West.
Second that.
In the West, they're actually teams better than the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion. But that's where matchups come to play. So when the Denver Nuggets, in my opinion, I don't know if they were the best team in the West this year, but like to me they're the best team in the West. Like not this year, but like in general.
Mm-hmm.
But when they face a team that matches up well with them, so the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Timberwolves beat them, but the Timberwolves don't match up well against the Mavericks, and the Mavericks beat them. Well, it's like the Mavericks aren't really the best team, but they face the best matchup in my opinion.
They're just given a better opportunity.
What's going to happen is that
that's kind of why I think
the teams in the Western Conference, they're so close that they're going to beat each other. And then the Celtics, they're going to be well rested going into the finals.
Mm-hmm.
They do what they're supposed to do. They have the chance to at least be in the finals. And if you're in the finals and you got the talent, then you can make something happen. How are we with time? I don't want to continue to run over on time. But I'll just make this last point. The dynamic with the Boston Celtics is going to be something that has to be talked about. I think as currently constructed after they win the championship, winning is what's important. But I was kind of getting comfortable with the dynamic until I saw some things from Jason Tatum from a leadership perspective. I think it can kind of confuse the locker room a little bit if they're not winning because he doesn't have good leadership, in my opinion.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What do you mean?
I don't know what you're talking about. Good leadership? You don't have good leadership? Besides that clip? I don't know what you're talking about.
His vocal.
I don't think that team needs a vocal. Needs a vocal.
I think
leader.
they kind of all come together as a collective.
I don't think
this is why I like to finish my points.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I think that
We got a guest for y'all. You know what I'm saying? My bad, y'all. That was kind of random.
I think that Jaylen Brown is the vocal leader on the team. You actually we have people on the panel that watch the game, they watch the film, but I'm evaluating body language as well. I'm evaluating how your troops are around you. Jason Tatum, when I see him talking to his teammates, they respect him, but and during that run, right? Like, let's say they panned off to the sideline, they called a timeout. I don't think Jason Tatum is going to get those guys going and be like, okay, guys, we need to step up. I think Jaylen Brown can do that. I think his personality, he commands more with the team from that regard. Jason Tatum is the better player on the team, clearly, has the skills, all of that. I think Jaylen Brown is stepping into his role as the leader on the team from a vocal perspective. Every team needs a vocal leader. It's facts. You can't go to any championship winning team.
2019 Toronto Raptors.
Kyle Lowry, sir. If you ask guys on that team, he was the vocal leader on that team.
That team.
He had been on that team longer than anybody. He was the vocal leader on that team.
I think Jason Tatum to take a page out of Kobe's book when he told Jordan Clarkson to stop acting like a light-skinned ass nigga and grow a pair.
That's not his personality though.
But I mean,
and that's the thing.
He's been trying to follow Kobe's philosophy.
I just don't think. I'm finna say this. I don't know what I think. I think the Celtics are so leaps and bounds over anybody in the league, honestly, that they don't really need that. Honestly,
They don't really need that. They don't really need like a true leader. I mean, their whole
they don't need a true leader.
team.
Like the best players are two young guys. Like they don't really need a true leader.
Well, these guys are not young.
Yes, they are. 27 and 26 is pretty young. It's not like they're 30, 29 or something like that. But they're pretty young guys. Like they're in like their 5th, 6th year in the league. So 6, 7 year league. So they're on the younger side. They're not old. They're not mature like that. Because if you're mature like that, you're like 28, 32. Between that range, honestly. So
how old is Jaylen Brown and how old is Jason Tatum?
Like 26 and 27. So like they're young.
But
they're young. That's my point. So I don't really think this team honestly needs that type of leadership. Because it's clearly gonna win the finals this year. So I mean you can think that, but I just don't agree. Yeah, 26, 27. So they're both fairly young.
26, 27. They're gonna win the championship this year. 28 is right around the corner, and then you're approaching 30. My only thing is this. Okay, they are clear and cut the best team in the Eastern Conference. We are under the estimation that other teams are going to stand pat. Other teams are going to try to get better. Currently constructed, yes, they're clear cut better than everybody else. Do y'all seriously think that other teams are gonna try to stand pat? They're gonna try to do things to better and beef up their roster.
That's fine, but I don't think nobody in the East is definitely contending with them in probably the next 3 to 4 years. So that's all they need to. We're really worried about because
As currently constructed.
that's what I'm saying. So nobody in the East, I don't think in the future or like in the next 3 to 5 years can really beat them, honestly. So really, their competition is going to be in the finals. That's why I think because the Celtics, I mean not the Celtics, the Bucks, they're cooked, they're finished, they're cooked. The Knicks may be the only bright spot. The Pacers, I think the Pacers remind me too much of the 2021 Hawks. So I don't think they'll make it back, and they don't play any licks of defense. So unless they make a big move, no. The Orlando Magic, they might be there in like the next 5 years. They might be, but I don't think anybody honestly is going to challenge them. Like even when it's pertaining to like making moves in the offseason in the Eastern Conference, so they have nothing to worry about. In my opinion, the Eastern Conference, their thing is those top four teams in the West, like staying in the pack for those teams because those teams are going to get better. Like hopefully the Denver Nuggets make some moves, especially on their bench. 'Cause I think their starting lineup is basically impact. I think they have probably the best starting lineup in the league. Starting line is pretty impact. It's just I don't know about Michael Porter Jr. I wouldn't keep him personally, but because I feel like he's too one dimensional that like you could you could really get rid of him. And Minnesota, they have their problems, but I just don't know about the cap situation with those teams out in the West. But the Celtics are definitely in good shape to me personally. So if everything goes right, they should be able to win by like 1 or 2 more rings, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's my point.
I'm gonna challenge you on one thing. So Jaylen Brown is 27, right? Jason Tatum is 26. So let's say they have next 5 years. Based off what I'm hearing from you, I would say 4. They should make the finals at least next 4 out of 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 to 4. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
They should. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. A little sidetrack, though. Stephen A. Smith did say this at the beginning of the game, before it started during warm-ups. He said, nobody on the planet knows what it's like to play without a star than Paul George. Malachi, he has a little beef with Stephen A. First of all, I don't know why this dude keeps throwing shots at Kawhi Leonard. Like, that's not what we're talking about right now. And then, as a fact, on First Take this morning, why are y'all talking about LeBron James and how great of a guy he is when we're before Game 3? Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. First of all, Bubbalicious, take that pink suit off. Like, come on, bro.
Go, man. Yeah, that's him.
But anyways, though, you had something to say?
Okay, so I'm gonna keep this rather brief. Since I watch sports shows like every morning, so I do watch First Take pretty much every morning. Stephen A. Smith, since you want to always talk about how well you dress and how well your suits are in the morning, I'm gonna get on you real quick, brother. What's up with that pink suit?
It's almost hard. That matches Luka's shoes. It's almost kind of hard.
Hold on. You got something you want to say? You've been wearing these feminine colors a lot lately. You got something you want to say? Just say that. But put some respect on Mr. Kawhi Leonard's name. Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time Finals MVP. He's a multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time All-NBA selection. To say that he's not a star, sir, respectfully, you need to do better and you need to be respectful because I've been watching you get cooked by these WNBA ladies past week. This whole week they've been talking about Caitlin Clark. Brother, you've been getting cooked. Been getting cooked by Andre Carter, been getting cooked by Monica McNutt, been getting cooked by Shanae Gumike. So maybe they've been on ESPN, they've been on First Take without a star. You've been getting bait. Shannon Sharp been carrying you. So you need to get right, sir. I'm tired of the Kawhi Leonard slander. It's very unbecoming to Stephen A. Smith because he always calls himself a direct individual. He'll call guys out. Say Kawhi Leonard by name, sir. But I ain't finna give Bro too much attention, man.
Yeah.
You gave him a lot of attention.
Well, because we brought him up. I wasn't gonna say anything about him.
All right, y'all. We already know who most likely go the clear-cut winner of this NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics, of course. So we'll give them their flowers in Game 4, and we'll catch y'all later, man.